Have a trip to the King Power Stadium to face Leicester. Let's hear from Mikel Arteta, but first, Brendan Rodgers.
Well, I think they've had a fantastic season up until now. I think you sensed right at the very beginning of the season when we played, they had signed the two players that were sort of game changer for them in terms of mentality. Mikel's done a fantastic job with them, and okay, there's still a long way to go. It's 15 games to go, but they've had a very, very good season so far.
Well, the first half, they should have been 2 or 3-0 up very early in the game. That's the reality. If it's not for that bit, that would be a very different game. The game they play against the Spurs, they played the games recently. Really complimentary about them. They're in a really good moment right now, and every day is going to be a race how we convince those players today to train better, to play better against Leicester, because we're going to have to be really good to beat them, especially the way they've been playing the last few weeks.
It does feel like already every single weekend when Arsenal, Manchester City and now even Manchester United in the title race, whenever they play, any points dropped feels huge, doesn't it, Tim? So how big was that win at Villa Park last week for Arsenal?
Huge. And it was a tough game. You know, both teams never took a backward step. You know, we went for each other, and I think Arsenal come out on top. Obviously, at the end, Villa was chasing the game and they caught them out. But after going behind, Ollie Watkins is a different player this season. He's really found some confidence, but he just kept going. Arsenal, what a strike that is from Saka. You know, they kept pushing forward, go behind again. It just shows the resilience of the character. Coutinho there sits the goalkeeper down. They got a little bit of luck, of course they did. In the end, with the finishing, Zinchenko there with the finish. This is the one, comes off the crossbar, hits Martinez on the head and goes in, and then they go caution to the wind, throw everyone forward, and Martinelli just runs forward. A good timing of the pass here, and once you're not catching him, he thinks, oh, shall I celebrate? Oh, maybe I shouldn't. And then rolls it into the goal, and you see the celebrations there for not only the fans but from the bench and the players. They knew that was a huge result, but they have to back it up. They have to go now to the King Power and have to take maximum points again.
I love that he started celebrating before the ball was even in the back of the net, Owen, but that just goes to show what a huge boost that could potentially be for the players heading into the next match. Momentum means everything at this stage.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't a 4-2 game. It wasn't. You know, there were 2 really late goals from Arsenal, but I was watching it thinking, you know, Arsenal, after what happened against Manchester City, are they looking to throw it away? You know, they don't have the experience really at this level to go and win a trophy. But that would be huge for them. Those 2 late goals will give them so much confidence. Tim makes a great point. The way they celebrated those goals, all the players with their fans, it was like, it was relief. And I think that will give them a ton of confidence. So let's be honest, they haven't been in this position before with this group of players to go win a trophy. But it feels like they're going in confidence, momentum. Obviously, the City game was unfortunate because City have been there and they know what it's like.
Yeah.
But the Villa one, I think, gives them so much confidence. Now, Leicester City, it's a massive game.
It's dangerous game, I mean. You know, we've seen what Leicester done to Tottenham a couple of weeks back. You know, it's a very, very dangerous place to go. Like some Maddison and Barnes are on fire.
Tete looks great, doesn't he?
Front, Tete made some good signings. What Brendan's been crying out for, but actually giving the players now. And this guy's a good coach. You know, he will have a plan ready for Arsenal. This won't be a foregone conclusion. With
Leicester, though, it does sometimes feel like you're not sure which Leicester's going to turn up on the day. Why haven't they been able to find...
You can say that about probably 75% of the Premier League. You know, everyone beats everyone in the Premier League. It's just unpredictable. It's the most competitive league in the world. And you can't take a backward step. But Mikel will have his team prepared. They will have the confidence from last week. And he knows that if he drops points, Man City will be waiting, and Man United will be waiting to capitalise.
What will Leicester's biggest threat against Arsenal be then, Owen?
I think Saka's absolutely on fire. I mean, Martinelli is hard to play against. You know, Partey, I think if he comes back, I think he makes a huge difference. I love the whole Arsenal team. You know, Odegaard, you know, the lot. And Nketiah creates chances every game. The goals have dried up a little bit of late, but I think if you're Leicester, you're worried about kind of all the Arsenal players because, you know, they're kind of all attacking one group. I think for Leicester, they're better when they keep the ball away from their goal. I think, obviously, defensively, they got some real issues. But they got good ball players at the top of the pitch. Maddison was playing wide before. Now with Tete coming in, he's playing central. To me, centrally, he's one of the best players in the league. He creates in every game. And I'm sure he'll be looking at this as a shop window for him. He thinks he's a top 4 player, James Maddison. Yeah. And I think this is a little audition for him for the summer.
Yeah. Do you think that's the biggest threat from Leicester?
Maddison and Barnes have been on fire. I mean, Tottenham went there and it was Pedro Porro's first game on the right-hand side, and they worked out between them where the weakness was, and they attacked it. Ian Atcher's been great as well, but both of them are top draw players and can play for the top teams in the Premier League, but they're enjoying the football at the moment. It's a different Leicester side too early on in the season. They're getting a little bit of rhythm. Yes, there is inconsistencies, but they push Man United all the way in this game. And they, unfortunately, the Achilles heel is conceding goals. Arsenal will know that. They will know they have to go on the front foot. This is a fantastic football match to watch because it'll be end-to-end. They will share a lot of goals between them.
Yeah, Owen, you've been in title-winning squads before. So when you actually look at the fact that Arsenal played before Manchester City, does that make a difference when you play before the team that are chasing you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. That's a real thing. You know, you want to get the points on the board because then you're ahead. It's a bit like the penalty shootout. They say if you start, you take the first one. Statistically, the odds are better that you go win. Yeah. You go win a penalty shootout. I think if you get the upper hand and you can win, put pressure on, especially if you put on a massive performance, you go smash 4 or 5 past an opposition. You know the other teams are watching. You're in the team hotel. You're having dinner, everybody sits down and watches the game, and you'll be thinking, geez, these guys aren't going away. So I think for Arsenal, it's a big opportunity for them.
Tim, you're on your way to win the title. You're in that dressing room, a win like the one last week. Is it something that, as a team, you all talk about, and you talk about that fight to go on and win a game late on and just that never giving up, that confidence it will give you?
I think so. I think when you're in a title-winning side, you always pinpoint moments in the season, and there's always standout moments. And I think that game last week against Aston Villa, when they go behind twice and they fight back, and the huge travelling support where they took and the celebrations what you saw after, I think it's not only 3 points what they took, but it's a confidence boost to the rest of the season. But they have to back it up now. King power, go there, take maximum points again, and then you can have a little break.
And these are the games coming up after that. Everton in the week, Owen, and then Bournemouth, Fulham, Crystal Palace and Leeds. Arsenal will look at every single one of those games and think 3 points.
Jules, you just read my mind. I think the Arsenal fans watching this at home, they'll be thinking, win, 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 win. And the thing is as well, you know, if you can get in a little run like that and maybe create a little bit of separation between yourselves and Manchester City, then it puts more pressure on Manchester City as well. So, look, it's in their control. It's in their destiny. You know, they threw it away last season in terms of the Champions League. Didn't have the experience, didn't have the group of players. Zinchenko comes in, Jesus comes in. Jorginho is an underrated signing. You know, he's been there and done it in big with his national team and with Chelsea. So, in that sense, I feel like looking at the fixtures, you know, they're never going to get a better chance.
You take it in segments, don't you? You get yourself now to March, get to April. You know, if you're still in front, you know, the games are running out for the rest to chase you down. So you take it in sections. Mikel's done it before. We know Zinchenko, I think Jesus will be back. You know, if they can keep their players fit, they've got every chance. But they know if they take their foot off the gas, Man City will be there. They've gone course and distance. They know how to win. They know how to chase. They know how to lead. They've done it all before. Man United and the new pretenders. I think they're ahead of schedule where they are, but I wouldn't rule them out. I think it's a 3-horse race.
But they did lose to Everton, Arsenal. So even when you look at those fixtures, although on paper you think, well, they're probably going to win these ones coming up, Tim, as you've already pointed out, anyone can beat anyone in this league.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw what happened at Nottingham Forest with Man City. You know, they're absolutely magnificent performance in my eyes, but they just couldn't put the ball in the net. And why it's only 1-0 like it was, they get the equaliser and they rob you of 2 points. But like Mikel knows through experience of working with Pep Guardiola that one game at a time, just do your job, take maximum points, and then sit back and watch the opposition.
OK, well, let's talk about Manchester City now, because this weekend for